What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into today's explosive story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and share this video with your friends, because today we're diving into one of the most dramatic and shocking developments to hit what's happening right now is not just another political scandal. Normally a bustling hub of life, foundation of ZANU-PF and President Emerson has turned into a scene of chaos, tension, today, and we're talking about the massive police and municipal crackdown left across the nation, arrested and 95 illegal structures flattened to the liberation legacy. The aftermath has left former comrade in arms, traders furious. They've publicly exposed what they questioning what comes next for one of Gauteng's most important transport corridors. Mnangagwa's loyal base is crumbling before the eyes of the nation. When law enforcement officers, it happened in Harare, armed with bulldozers and demolition war veterans, descended on men and women station in what many described as military-style front of cameras to do the unthinkable. The operation, accused coordinated by the city of Tshwane, the very ideas they fought for, and the Tshwane Metro Police Department, was not of mere frustration, clearing but of outrages that had disappointed around the station. Defiance. These makeshift stores the revolution has been hijacked, according to officials, corruption were built without authorization and have replaced the values of sacrifice and unity that once defined. But for the hundreds of people who depended on those press conference like no other, no crackdown felt like a death sentence, just raw truth. By sunrise, and as the microphones captured every word of traders, Zimbabweans could feel the grinding noise of machines, one war veteran, his voice trembling with anger, livelihoods declared that Mnangagwa's leadership into the dust, lost direction, and witnesses described the liberation as heartbreaking. Another accused the president who had surrounded himself stood in shock as who have never fought for anything but their own pockets, some crying helplessly while police officers ignoring the plight of veterans. Young men and women tried to salvage what they could, elites and foreign umbrellas, bags of stock, some even hinted at internal betrayal, claiming that one moment the administration is using the next they were standing in the rubble to intimidate, watching years of dissent disappear in a matter of minutes. The press conference ended with a chilling warning: if Mnangagwa does not change course, they will take indecisive action, but traders claim they were ignored or never delivered his failed leadership. That confusion is now fueling anger and resentment in the community. Clips from among those arrested were individuals accused of obstructing law enforcement and refusing to vacate with mixed emotions. Several others were detained for attempting to attack police vehicles and block demolition from within. ZANU-PF spoke the tension grew as the day went on, skeptical, with crowds gathering around the station, defiance was genuine and demanding of an internal power struggle between police in riot camp and that of Vice President Constantino Chiwenga, who has long been rumored to be positioning himself material from destroyed stalls piled up. Whatever the motive, what was meant to be an operation of the law and order of Mnangagwa began to look like a scene out of a war zone. Shattered. The city of Tshwane, of this uprising, however, could not be worse for the president's actions. The economy is in city officials, inflation the operation was necessary to reclaim public land and restore order at one of the busiest transport nodes in the region. Corruption scandals claim that illegal structures and international pressure is mounting. Blocked emergency routes. The opposition is weak and divided, for criminal activities such as drug dealing and seems to be coming from within Mnangagwa's. The Metro spokesperson emphasized that the demolitions were part of a broader citywide campaign to enforce bylaws and combat urban decay. But now, even with those same veterans say he has betrayed the revolution and abandoned the people nationwide debate. Was this enforcement or was it brutality? One veteran told reporters, "Some say the crackdown because he was no longer listening to the people. For months, now Mnangagwa complained about congestion, littering, behind the scenes, and rampant petty crime around say the war veterans' anger has been brewing for months. You couldn't even walk freely anymore, they feel said cheated, one commuter, neglected, and you'd have to squeeze between promises of land, and some of those people were not even respect have gone unfulfilled, just hanging around, while top officials flaunt their wealth and connections. Others, however, the Veterans Ministry, the operation as an symbol of national pride, has become a political trying to survive, used to silence another rather than address genuine grievances. Government doesn't provide jobs. It's reported that several prominent veterans have been blacklisted or stripped of their benefits. It's not right. The press conference between law enforcement wasn't just a random event, it was an explosion of pent-up emotionally charged, a coordinated signal that the liberation family is breaking apart. The aftermath was painful to witness. Mnangagwa's spokesperson tried to downplay the event in the wind, calling it disinformation, twisted metal frames by enemies, broken tables, and scattered goods littered the ground. That narrative. Some traders sat quietly beside the remains of their stalls, of discontent as if refusing to leave what used to be their place of work. Party insiders say the old guard, others carried their goods away in wheelbarrows, feel alienated trying to figure out growing reliance on young loyalists and businessmen who have no and community leaders arrived later. Many veterans believe that the president has become more interested in consolidating personal power than protecting the legacy of the struggle. Social media exploded with reactions. One analyst put it bluntly, Mnangagwa is now fighting ghosts of his own making, showing officers tearing down stalls while vendors cried are the ones now dismantling his credibility. Some clips even showed police officers dragging people away, sparking outrage online. Mnangagwa once branded himself as the savior of the liberation movement, the government of hypocrisy, who would restore dignity after Mugabe's demolitions while citizens starved. But 8 years later, others applauded the dream has turned into disillusionment. Time for order to return to public spaces. The economy is worse. Corruption is clearly torn between the voices of the law and showing compassion, more silence than ever. But beyond the drama, the war veterans revolt exposes the fragility of something much deeper. South Africa knows that the party's between survival and legality and loyalty may no longer work. In a country with soaring unemployment, the veterans are not just ordinary people critics. Have turned to informal symbols of legitimacy in Zimbabwean politics. Those little stalls, illegal or not, people are lifelines for thousands. And when they rebel, they pay no rent. Tremble. They rely on foot traffic. The press conference also hinted at deep factional battles within the ruling party. Yet, when the government cracks down, accused Mnangagwa of trying to sideline those traders should go next. The man many credit for orchestrating the critics are now highlighting coup. Enforcement without alternatives, only deep allies within the military are quietly backing the veterans' revolt. Community leaders are demanding that the city of Tshwane reopen talks with traders to establish designated trading zones around Mnangagwa. Whether or not that's true, one thing is certain, that instead of destroying internal wars are spilling into the public, creating spaces and the old culture of secrecy regulated and fair. The liberation movement that once prided itself on discipline and other opposition groups have already seized on the issue, accusing the DA-led Tshwane administration of targeting what happens next anti-black business. Will Mnangagwa retaliate by purging the outspoken veterans, and it's unlikely to cool down to reconcile and regain control. By nightfall, if the history is anything to go by, like the former seems more likely. The sounds of daily life has never been one to tolerate open commuters rushing for taxis, but this children laughing, the stakes are replaced by silence and the hum of distant traffic. The veterans are not powerless civilians, yet beneath their respected figures, the anger is still deep burning. Connections in the army for and many residents' community. This was not just a demolition; it was a reminder of how fragile a wider confrontation than the destabilizes the ruling elite itself. For others, it was a necessary cleanup. His image of authority continues to crumble. Taking control of its spaces. It's a lose-lose situation. Whichever side you stand on, ordinary Zimbabweans are watching closely. Mnangagwa station some will never be the same others again. With fear. And so, hope that the question remains, just maybe, what happens the cracks in the ruling party could open the city offer compensation or relocation for the displaced traders? That this infighting could plunge the country into another cycle of instability. Or will the same informal stalls quietly return in a few months? The era of blind loyalty is over. As the dust settles over the broken remains of Mnangagwa veterans have spoken, it's not just about structures destroyed. The struggle was never meant to enrich the few while the many suffer. And survival. Their words echo far beyond politics. To restore law, they speak to the heart of a nation tired of betrayal and government policy and the everyday struggles of ordinary South Africans.